here's Brody Brazil.
You know, I feel like the biggest association I can make with tailgating comes through sports. And don't get me wrong, people do tailgate for other life events and opportunities that are not going to the game. But there's something magical about showing up to the stadium or the arena super early with all that food and your friends and just the environment of hanging out, of making that game more of a full day experience. And no matter how the result of the game turns out, you'll have a great time because of all the before and after activities. So tailgating has always been special to sports. But if I zoom in just a little bit deeper, it's not necessarily every sport. I mean, baseball does its thing during the summertime and during the weekend games, no doubt. Basketball and hockey, those are generally at night. Those are generally during the wintertime months, so it's hard to really tailgate there. But football especially is kind of king of the tailgating. It's probably because most of the games are on Saturdays or Sundays, depending on college and the NFL, and you only get one home game like every other week, so it's not like every other night you get the opportunity to do this. You want to take advantage of these home games. You want to make it a big deal. That's why football and generally big stadiums with a lot of people and big parking lots, they're perfect environments for tailgating. And if I'm going to dive in even deeper than that, I'm here to say that the Raiders have always been known as one of the best tailgating franchises in professional sports, but especially across football. And I know this firsthand. I got to witness and partake in all of this back in the day. I got to see the food and the costumes and the family environment and the extracurriculars, everything on display in the parking lots of the Coliseum, which, by the way, were the perfect platforms for Raider fans. I mean, you have all that space. You've got a huge stadium. You've got plenty of room to roam, multiple tailgates, thousands, if not tens of thousands of fans tailgating before games to make that experience at the Coliseum so special. No doubt about it, Raider fans in Oakland, they did it right for so many years. And I'm not here to diss Las Vegas. I just don't know much about the fan experience right now at Allegiant Stadium. Do they tailgate? Is it still a little bit too hot in the months of August into September, even into October, to really get out there and stay outside for a very long time? Probably on certain weekend situations, it's too hot. And you also get a lot of out-of-town fans. You get a lot of visiting fans, and I'm pretty sure they're not packing barbecues in their suitcases when they come to Las Vegas and visit Allegiant Stadium. So what I'm showing you right here is actually a tailgating product of the Raiders. Soak in this image to understand what you're looking at here before I explain what this is. You ready? What you were just looking at was a $20,000 tailgate. And I don't mean it cost $20,000 to put up that structure. I mean you, as a fan, as a customer, you can rent that facility for 20 people for $20,000 per game this upcoming season. The Raiders call them party shacks. There's 4 of them outside Allegiant Stadium to rent before every game. They take up the size and the footprint of like several parking spaces. It's a prime location right outside of Allegiant Stadium. If you were going into the game, which we'll talk about in a second, maybe you're not going into the game, by the way. The $20,000 to start with, it comes with included food and beverages and more. It has nice amenities like a 55-inch television. It's got air conditioning inside the indoor enclosure because, you know, you might need to cool off for a couple minutes at a time. But the $20,000 for 20 people, it does not include tickets to any game like the one you've showed up for. It also does not include any transportation like where to actually park and how to actually get to the stadium with you and your other 19 people. The Raiders also say that packages start at $20,000. So I'm thinking about alcohol and merchandise and other things you might want to buy as part of this package. Just so you know, $20,000 is the starting point of tailgating like that. Alan Snell of lvsportsbiz.com was on hand for this Raiders announcement. They toured the media through one of these little enclosures to show them what it was all about, kind of spread the word. Alan, I hope it's okay I'm using your photos, and shout out to lvsportsbiz.com it is a great resource. So you can kind of see the size of it. Yeah, maybe 5, 6 parking spaces. Look, plenty of room for 20 people. No question about it. Here's the inside, fully furnished. I see a fridge. I see places to sit. Obviously, air conditioning is the biggest amenity of them all. If it's hot, like you want to escape indoors and cool off when you get the chance. Fully furnished with Raider logos and couches and cushions and outdoor chairs. I mean, this is nice. There's no question about it. Is it $20,000 for a few hours nice? I don't know if this is only a before the game thing. Do you get this space for after the game too? If it makes sense, I really don't know. Does somebody clean it up? Does it come with waiter service? I'm not really clear on all the details, just the general picture here. Yeah, there's some drinks and a free charging station. At least we know that charging your phone is going to be free. Is that the Goose back there? Do I see a bottle of Grey Goose? Why would I know especially what that might look like? Anyway, this is a sample of something pretty exclusive, pretty costly. And again, is this the future of tailgating? There are some other teams, not just the Raiders, that are doing this for the upcoming season. But this is what premium looks like now across the NFL. A $20,000 tailgate. Here's what Panos Pappas says. Panos is the Raiders' vice president of premium sales. Quote, people spend that kind of money on one bottle of tequila on the strip on a Saturday night. Hang on a second. I'm 43 years old. I'm a dad now. I've lost my way on a lot of things. People are spending, what, $1,000 on a bottle of tequila? Or $20,000? 20 can't be right. What's in that tequila for $20,000? Heck, what's in a bottle of tequila for $1,000? Maybe it's the table you're buying that comes with bottle service. Anyway, is it expensive? Sure it is. But there's a premium that comes with it. You're getting the full experience with it. That's not true. You showed up for a game and it doesn't come with tickets. So you're really not getting the full day's experience at Allegiant Stadium. But I digress. Is it for everybody? It could be. You get all your friends together and you all chip in when you get there. End quote. You all chip in $1,000, and let's be clear, if I'm going, my wife is probably going, so it's not just $1,000, it's $2,000, and I don't know, is this a family-friendly atmosphere? Because I have a child too, so is it $3,000 to just get to the game? I don't mean go into the game, just get to the game. You talk about a premium, and some people are willing to pay it. Some corporations are willing to pay it. Would you pay it? Let me know in the comments section below. As I said, the Raiders are not the only ones doing this, so I don't mean to kind of squeeze in on them too tight. The Kansas City Chiefs are, the Browns are, the Commanders are, the Jaguars have something like this. The Bucs and the Titans, they have more of an in-stadium experience, but it's very similar to this, and it comes at a pretty premium price. Okay, so I've got some overall feelings on all of this, beginning with number one. Is what we're looking at there, is that even tailgating? Like tailgating, like the tailgate of a car or a truck. You put the tailgate down. You open up the hatchback in the back of your SUV or minivan or whatever. That's tailgating. Going into your own private enclosure that's air-conditioned and has bottle service and for 20 people and costs $20,000, that doesn't feel like tailgating. I saw somebody put on social media, it's more like an Airbnb rather than tailgating. That is so true. This is not really the definition of tailgating. Tailgating is for everybody to show up, not just you and your 20 people to crawl and huddle into a certain spot and be separated from everybody else. Look, if these sell out 4 per game for all the home games at Allegiant Stadium, then congratulations to the Raiders. They've made a bunch of money. They've found something that there is a demand for, and maybe it works. And you know what? Maybe this is more of a corporate purchase than a casual one. I know the Raiders will suggest that, hey, you could split it 20 ways between your friends, but really, isn't some company, some well-to-do company going to say, hey, 20 grand? That's a drop in the bucket for us. I want to treat 20 of our best employees. Here's 20 grand. Here are my 20 employees. Assistant, go make this happen. And they do. So it feels more like a corporate event than a casual thing to go to one of these tailgating enclosures, whatever we're calling it. As I mentioned before, the packages start at $20,000. So once you factor in alcohol And if you are buying tickets and if you do want extras like merchandise, you'd have to think that those amenities likely come at another premium. So it's possible that the $1,000 you spent each quickly turns into maybe $2,000 each. And I think I'm stating the obvious here to say that this type of opportunity for fans, this is not very middle class. And like I said before, there's something special and magical about tailgating. It brings so many different people together from so many different walks of life together. It is the definition of sport which bonds people of different places and spaces. And doing this only invites a bunch of people with either a lot of disposable income or people who know somebody with disposable income. It doesn't really, for me, hit the definition of proper tailgating. Anyway, like I said, if it works for the Raiders, more power to them. They've always been known as a great tailgating team. This is definitely something different than what they're known for. I'll keep it at that. Hey, you made it here to the end of this video. You know I really appreciate that. Thumbs up down below. That greatly helps me, this video, and this channel. And if you've never seen me or any of this before, I'm glad you found me. I'd love to get you back here. Go down there and hit that subscribe button so I definitely get to see you next time.